This is another day for me to remind you Kenyans who are in the UAE to not only go for unskilled jobs and to also start applying for skilled roles in the UAE. And today I'm here to talk to people who are into human resource management, HRs. Here in UAE, most of the time you'll find them calling that role talent acquisition or peoples and culture. So if you're a trained HR professional from Kenya and you want to transition and take the same role here in the UAE, first things first is that you need to know that the UAE operates under the Mohreh laws. So every person who is employed in the UAE is under a labor contract under the Mohreh laws. So that should be your number one. You need to find out how you can be able to learn about the UAE labor law. Yeah, so those are there is the law that will help you know exactly how or what the employment contracts are based on, the probation rules, the termination or disciplinary processes, the leave types, the end of service, or that is the gratuity payment, the payrolls. Yeah, so these are things that you can go and research and learn. Find some institution or some online sources where you can take short courses on UAE labor law. Those are not like professional certificates that you can say you have that, but if an institution is able to offer that, I'm sure there is somewhere that is for you. Don't ask me, go and do your research, you will find it, where to learn about the UAE labor laws. Yeah, you can try and find under the HR training institutes. I'm sure they have some modules for that, or also on online platforms like Udemy, Coursera, even LinkedIn Learning. That is for you to go and research. Don't come to my inbox to ask me. That is these things, you just hear them here and you go and do your own research. Then you should need to know that in UAE, AI is a big part of such roles, because you can imagine the number of people here who are applying for jobs. It's thousands. There's so many people who are all here applying. Even the ones who are employed, they're still applying and applying and applying. If a job is posted on LinkedIn, within 3 seconds there's 100 applications already sent. So most of these companies have adopted AI, and most of these talent acquisition professionals, human resource, people and culture departments are using AI. So you need to be able to understand how AI works and how this role people are using AI, like they have optimized AI to help them to be able to filter and go through all these processes. That is, again, you need to go and find out if there is any human resource institutes that are teaching or offering some training regarding AI for HR processes. There's a lot of AI related courses based on different fields. So this department is using a lot of AI for writing job description. They're using it to screen CVs. They're using it to creating interview questions. They're using drafting HR policies. And some of them, they will even come with you to an interview with AR and they're recording the whole interview, and then they will go and run it and get a report through that. So you need to understand all those processes. Just go and do a lot of research. Use AI to learn all these things. You can also invest in yourself by getting now official certifications. There is some specific certifications that are on this field, like the HR, and there is UK based ones, there is US based ones. So I know like there is a CIPD, there's several levels of that. There's like level 3, and then there is level 5 for people who are targeting higher roles in management. So if you're just in an entry position, I actually think even if you're not like back in Kenya, like you did not study HR or related courses, you can actually take these just to enter into this field. So for somebody who was asking me that I'm not sharing roles for people who did not go to university, I think you need to focus on certifications, like international certifications that will help you to enter into this field. You can literally just say that you are a certified CIPD professional. Nobody will ask you where your degree is, and that's it. And this is a certificate that will teach you all that details, all that it entails to enter into these roles. So I digressed. I was talking about the CIPD, that is a UK based one, and then there is the US based certification, which is the SHRM CP. So this one is the US version of certification that focuses on HR as a business partner, and also it's mostly used for multinational companies. So yeah, and then there's also the certificate of, I will list all the certificates here. HRCI, I'm unable to read all these things. I will just list them here so you can see them. that thing that you need to do after you've done the first one, we said is the Moray laws and AI systems. Then secondly, we said you can get yourself a certificate, the ones we just talked about. And then number 3, you need to understand the systems that are used for these departments. Which systems are they using? Yeah, so there is a human resource information system, that is a HRIS, the one that stores the employee data, stores the contracts, the leave. They cannot just know everybody when they took the leave, when they took the sick day, and all that. So there's systems that are that. So that one is a HRIS. So you need to learn about the HRIS, how to run it. You also need to learn about the ATS, the applicant tracking system. We have talked about that before. That is the system that is doing the recruitment and the CV tracking and also the interviews. We say that they usually scan your CVs using the ATS system. That's why your CV needs to be ATS approved. Yeah, I mentioned that in one of my videos. So you'll find that there's a common system that they use here in UAE. It's up to you to research and find out which are the most commonly used. Then go and learn about it. Either you could learn, if just find where to learn them. It could be on YouTube. Maybe there's a course on YouTube that is free. Maybe it's on Coursera. Maybe it's in Udemy. All that we're trying to do, we are not just trying to keep on collecting certificates and collecting all this information for nothing. If we are talking about collecting certificates or getting certified, these certificates are not going to go and get you a job. These certificates are your chance to get to know what exactly the people in this role function in this country, because it cannot be same. Maybe you were a HR professional in Kenya and things were different there. There was no UAE labor laws. The systems that were being used were very different. So now you're here in the UAE, you need to learn what a day in a talent acquisition professional entails. So we are not saying that get certificates, put them on your CV and go and say, oh, I'm certified for this role. What we are doing is trying to understand what a day in this role entails. So if you sit in an interview, somebody will be asking you, take me through what and what your role is. Like, take me through. Obviously they will tell you based on your experience. You said I was working here, so tell us what your day would look like. What will you do? So that is your chance for them to show them that you actually know. If we hire you tomorrow, you will start working. You're not going to like start pulling us back and delaying the whole company because you're still learning and you're still, yeah, obviously that will happen, but they want just to see that you are somebody who understands their role and they're hiring the right person. So that is why these certificates is a learning part. That is where you're learning all that it takes to be and to fit into this role. Then when you're writing your CV, of course ulikuwa HR in Kenya, so ukifika hapa ninaongea Kiswahili because unajua zingine hii nchi ukiongea ukweli sana utasaidika. Hapo mbali kwenye unafanya kazi saizi hakuna mtu anajua ni kazi gani unafanyanga hapo. So ni wewe tu dress yako venye utaichora vizuri, because this is what will get you that interview. Kama hujui kudanganya hii nchi hautaipata interview. Na interview ndio muhimu, ukifika pale unajua venye utajitetea. Sasa ukiwa hapo kwa interview already ushajua kujitetea na unajua what it takes and you have studied all these things. So unajua. So that is why you speak for yourself. Wenye bado mnaendelea kusema mambo za kweli kwa CV zenyu, ndio maana mpati interview. Anyway, in summary, what I was trying to say is that for you to fit in and start applying for these jobs, first thing, take the UAE labor law course or some training somewhere. Do your own research, learn the HR systems, the basics. So if they give you that system, you literally know what to do in a day in the life of a professional in that role. Practice AI use for HR tasks. You can even practice, give yourself some specific task you're hiring for this role, use and practice using AI, what you will do, they will ask you such questions in the interview, like what will you do? Yeah? So those are things you can actually learn on YouTube. So you create sample HR documents, the job description, HR policies. You can even make your own portfolio. So if somebody is asking you many questions and you are unable to answer, you can tell them, I can show you my portfolio. This is it. If you click here, we have, nowadays, AI is helping you make all these things. You can create your own portfolio with the show. So ukishinda kujibu maswali naambia, I have my portfolio, I can show you. Wanakuambia, okay, give us a moment. Naito nawapatia. Yeah. So basically, just you guys don't only umekuja iwe unauza kahawa, umeambia sijui kwa receptionist, spend that time to study and get to understand how to get yourself into roles. Look around, ask people, what do you do? What jobs are you doing? How did you get into that? That's how you do. That's how you get to understand what people are getting money.